Historic news tonight is House Speaker McCarthy is ousted from the House of Representatives. We have the story.
The newest iPhones aren't just being pulled hot off the shelves. They're really hot to the touch.
UNT recognizes Banned Book Week, some of which can be seen here. More on that later in the show.
Broadcasting live from the University of North Texas, this is ntTV Nightly News.
Good evening. Thank you for joining us on ntTV Nightly News. I'm Avery Callens.
And I'm Brooke Deering. In a historic move, the U.S. House of Representatives have fired the Speaker of the House. Late this afternoon, the House voted to oust Kevin McCarthy by just a 6-vote margin, 216 to 210. A group of hard-right Republicans who call themselves the Freedom Caucus pushed through a resolution calling for the vote against McCarthy and won. That has never happened before in U.S. history. 8 Republicans, along with a majority of Democrats, voted to remove McCarthy. The fight developed McCarthy relied on Democratic votes to pass the U.S. budget this past weekend. The conservative Republicans wanted to let the budget fail and allowed the U.S. government to shut down. McCarthy crafted a compromise which kept the government funded and was signed into law by President Biden. Now the question is, who will be elected to the Speaker position? For now, North Carolina Representative Patrick McHenry will serve as Speaker Pro Tem. ntTV News will follow this developing story.
Here in Denton, you will get the chance to vote on a bond that could potentially change the face of the whole city. This week, I got the chance to speak with some different programs to see what this bond could potentially look like.
Denton's 2023 bond election will cover a variety of different programs that aim to improve community facilities. Fire Department Safety and Wellness Chief David Boots explains improvements to fire stations like Station 5 and Station 6.
Those stations were built 1989, 1990-ish area. They were sister stations. The stations are old. They're both in bad need of repair, infrastructure-wise. We've had a lot of major issues with them.
Boots expresses the importance of this change for the safety of current and retired firefighters alike.
Because the unfortunate statistic is that a lot of our older firefighters, they don't live very long after they retire, and we're really trying hard to change that.
And for citizens of all ages, Denton Aquatics has released its first master plan. The Aquatics Program Manager Monica Martin explains how the bond will kick this project off.
The ones that have used Waterworks since it opened in 2003, this is going to be something that's brand new. This is going to be the second time that Waterworks has gotten an expansion.
What Martin is explaining is phase 1 of the master plan to be covered in the bond, which will focus on improving Denton's outdoor waterworks area. An expansion that will benefit both newer and older citizens alike.
And this is just going to give some elements that would attract all ages, not just the kids, but also some adults and seniors, programming and our swim teams and all sorts of other things.
If you want to see these changes happen, then make sure you're registered to vote by October 10th and show up to elections on November 7th. You can see the locations on the City of Denton website under the voting tab.
Hear that, Avery? It sounds like an old man snoring?
Oh, Brooke, you know what that means. It might be raining, but let's just go ahead and check with our anchor, Sam Price, who is in to see what we have in store for us this week. Sam?
Thanks, guys. It is true, we might have a real storm tonight that is the result of a cold front that's about to come through. For right now, we have a temperature of 89 degrees, no clouds in the sky, and it feels like a 91, 93. The wind speed currently is at 5 miles per hour coming from the southeast, but those clear skies will change tonight, however, as we have a precipitation of 90%. The temperature will decrease dramatically as a result of this to 77. and the winds will increase to 9 miles per hour from the south-southeast. Looking tomorrow, the storms will continue to be 90% a chance of rain. The temperature, however, will increase once again to 90 degrees, but it'll feel like 93. The winds will keep picking up from the southeast at 13 miles per hour. So, if you have any plans tonight or tomorrow, I recommend using a poncho. Thank you. Back to you two at the desk.
Thanks, Sam. Switching from possible stormy weather to stormy politics closer to home, banning books has been on the conservative agenda for years now.
That's right. The UNT Library will be holding a banned book readout, an event celebrating freedom to read and spotlighting current and historical attempts to censor books. ntTV's James Peeler has the details.
Thanks, guys. Fitzgerald's The Great Gatsby, Lee's To Kill a Mockingbird, Orwell's 1984 An Animal Farm, Ray Bradbury's Fahrenheit 451, Steinbeck's The Grapes of Wrath and of Mice and Men, Vonnegut's Slaughterhouse-Five, and my personal favorite, Lonesome Dove. Many revered classics found themselves pulled from shelves around the country in recent years as attempts to censor books in public and school libraries ramp up in a historic way. Last year, the state of Texas found itself as the state with the highest number of book bans. House Bill 900, which would require books to be rated on content, was signed in June of this year by Governor Abbott, but temporarily halted from going into effect by Judge Alan D. Albright. With this week being Banned Book Week, it's important to read and support authors whose books have been banned. Back to y'all in the studio.
Thanks, James. And while there may be an ongoing disagreement over books in our libraries, there is a very real issue for thousands of students who are on the hook for millions of dollars in student loans. Beginning yesterday, those loans must now be repaid, and that means a problem for many people. ntTV's April Pearden says one place that can help you find that is at the UNT Student Money Management Center.
After a pause of more than 3 years, tens of millions of Americans once again have to budget for student loan repayments, this affecting current college students.
As a college student, we have other, I want to say like liabilities, like we have to pay, but it's like I need these loans because if I don't have these loans, like I can't finish school.
But more factors come into play other than budgeting.
It's hard for people to like do classes, work, and then still like prepare for like their mental health.
According to President Joe Biden's administration, more than 45 million borrowers together owe approximately $1.6 trillion. And when they tried to cancel up to $20,000 in student debt for tens of millions of eligible borrowers, the Supreme Court stopped the program in June, leaving many students disappointed.
That's annoying because like students are like, oh, well, let's wait and see. And so that's just kind of like it doesn't provide security for them in the future.
And ironically, while some students fear their future loan payments, others such as international students wished they could have received one.
Student loan would have been a big support to me because like right now I can't focus entirely on my studies. I also have to focus on getting a job at UNT. Plus I can't work off campus. I can only get a job on campus, which is like again really stressful because there are limited jobs here at UNT.
Sometimes students are unaware of the resources available at their universities, such as the Student Money Management Center at UNT.
We want students to avail themselves of resources that have no repayment obligations before they need to consider debt obligations such as student loans.
Money Management Center, definitely. It was really helpful. I would definitely recommend all international students who definitely go for them.
And as the 2024 to 2025 FAFSA application will be delayed until December, students should take advantage of the opportunity to visit the center and seek for financial resources.
Whenever we're able to alleviate the stress and anxiety that students are feeling, whether it is during their time as students or in preparation of graduation, it is a time that we will be here to serve.
For ntTV News, I'm April Pearden.
Are you ready for robots to start making your food? I know I am. Stick around to hear which one of your favorite spots is hiring robots.
And as we go into October, some people are already starting to decorate, including Taylor Swift fans. Stay tuned for more.
If you've recently purchased a new iPhone 15 and your hand is feeling oddly hot, it is not your imagination. The new iPhone 15s have been overheating, which is caused by a bug that some third-party apps may be causing. Apple is working to resolve the issue with a software update, as well as working with app developers to also fix the issue. Your phone will return to a regular temperature when the bug is fixed, so in the meantime, maybe consider holding your phone with oven mitts.
Avery, did you know that a huge national alert is going to be happening all over the country tomorrow?
Yeah, but I'm not too worried about it because I hear it's just going to be a test. But let's go ahead and check with our live shot reporter, Jake Pickle, to see what he's saying about everybody's phones going to be big and loud tomorrow. Jake?
Thanks, ladies. Tomorrow, October 4th, at approximately 1:20 p.m., everyone's phones are going to be sounding the alarms, as well as radios and TVs, thanks to FEMA and the FCC's nationwide test of the emergency alert system and the wireless emergency alert. The EAS portion of the test will be conducted on radios and televisions, and this will be the 7th nationwide EAS test. The WEA portion, on the other hand, will be sent to all consumer cell phones. These consumers will receive a message that says, "This is a test of the National Wireless Emergency Alert System. No action needed." This will be the WEA's 3rd nationwide test, but only the 2nd test to all cellular devices. Depending on the language settings of your phone, you will receive your text message in either English or Spanish. FEMA and the FCC are currently coordinating with the EAS participants, wireless providers, and emergency managers in order to minimize confusion before the test takes place. So be ready. Again, this is going to be happening at 1:20 p.m. tomorrow. So if you forget to set your alarm, hopefully this alarm will wake you up. And if this alarm forgets to wake you up, maybe our weather anchor can. Let's go to our weather anchor, Sam Price, to see what he has in store for us.
Thank you very much. Looking at the board, it looks to be rather normal across the regional area. It appears that we have a range of about 88 to 91. And looking at all these areas, you might wonder, why is it so normal? But it won't be as normal as we move to the regional area, which you might notice Houston is at a 76. Why is Houston at a 76 when in comparison Austin is at a scorching 94? Houston has been experiencing some rainfall, which in turn have decreased its weather. Looking at other areas, we have a 95 in Oklahoma City and a 95 in El Paso, an 82 in Amarillo, and an 87 in Abilene. Looking at the 7-day forecast, you'll start to see a little bit of what will happen when the cold front comes through. Of course, tomorrow it might be a little hot with a 90% chance of rain, which will continue into Thursday. But looking at Friday, we'll have a low of 51 degrees. We've not seen such temperatures since earlier this year. And it will continue to be in the 50 range until Monday, when the low reaches back up to 62. As for the highs, they'll be in the mid-70s. They're going to be rather cool. But starting Monday, they'll reach back up to the 80s. So unfortunately, your swimming days are about to be cut short. But we're starting to see what will become the most wonderful time of the year, fall and winter. All right, so now we're going to flip it over to Avery, who has some news on major food brands. Avery?
Thanks, Sam. The beloved coffee brand across the world is taking on climate change by reducing carbon emissions and water waste. Starbucks is developing a climate-proof coffee. The 6 new varieties of coffee are now able to handle hotter temperatures and diseases. Farmers now have access to a catalog that helps guide them to crop more sustainable coffee for the future. The next time you go to Chipotle, don't freak out when a robot asks if you would like white or brown rice. Chipotle is now introducing robots that are able to make salads and bowls. The robots are estimated to create 65% of their digital orders and will do most of their in-house prep. Chipotle won't be the only fast food chain experimenting with robots though, as Wendy and Panera already have their own creations currently in the works. Taco Tuesday and Taco Wednesday, Taco Bell is bringing back their $10 Taco Pass today and tomorrow for members only. The Taco Pass isn't the only thing coming. Starting October 12th, the Toasted Breakfast Taco is joining the menu for a limited time. You know, all this talking about fast food has me wondering what else there is to eat out there in Denton. Do you have anything for me, Brooke?
You know, I might not know off of the top of my head, but I know that our Denton Eats anchor, Troyce Murphy, is in studio to tell us about a restaurant seeking to improve the health of their community. How about it, Troyce?
Thanks, Brooke. With the right guidance, incorporating a healthier alternatives into your diet doesn't have to be stressful. I took a visit to a vegan restaurant called Spiral to learn more about what it means to be vegan. Eating healthy can be challenging when options are limited and you don't know where to start. Spiral Diner, a local vegan restaurant and bakery, is on a mission to change that.
So the company came about 21 years ago when Amy McNutt, she decided that she wanted to bring veganism to the parts of Fort Worth where she lived. She's very passionate about the cause, so she opened up a little deli counter at the Rail Market in Fort Worth, and it was grab and go, I believe, at the time. And she then expanded into the diner that we now have in Fort Worth off of Magnolia.
Offering options from desserts to Tex-Mex, Spiral is adamant about making healthy foods enjoyable.
Spiral Diner, the core mission is comfort food. Our goal is for anyone to come in, whether you are a young person looking to switch to a vegan diet, or if you are someone's grandparent, aunt, uncle who's just supporting this person, to come in and find something that is recognizable to you.
Although it can be challenging to find vegan alternatives, through their connections, Spiral is able to maintain an assortment of options.
I have vendors who come to me weekly, sometimes daily. Hey, we have this new product. We really want you to see it. How can you use this on your menu?
Transitioning into a new diet isn't always easy, yet with the proper resources, healthier eating habits can be obtained.
People love talking about being vegan and the health benefits that it has, the benefits on their day-to-day life, the benefits on the planet around them. So really finding someone knowledgeable and asking questions, and I feel like Spiral Diner is a great place to start.
It's nice to know that there is more than fast food in a college town. That's all for me. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thanks, Troyce. One Indiana Yard is taking Halloween to Hollywood this year. Stick around to see more.
And on campus, the CVAD Gallery is honoring the innovations of artist C. Adams when we come back from the break.
And now we return to Fabric of Passion.
Oh, Hector, it will be so hard for us to part, but we must.
But, my love, what did I do? I thought we were meant to be together forever.
I am so disheartened to say that you're just not in style anymore. But you will be, to someone else, in a better place.
You're gonna shred me?
No.
I'm donating you to one of the many clothing donation boxes available on campus. There is one in the Union by the Syndicate and one on Union Circle Drive.
Oh, well, why didn't you just say so? I'm gonna be someone's new shirt.
I thought you'd be more distressed.
Oh, absolutely not. It was cramped in your closet anyways.
Maybe you would like to be shredded after all.
An incredible artist is coming back to UNT's campus, showcasing his art for the public to see.
Here's Anna with the details. Anna?
Thanks, ladies. For the second time, visual artist and author Say Adams has been and will continue displaying his work here in Denton, Texas. Say Adams' culture and painting graffiti skills has impacted several art movements for the past 4 decades. It all began for Adams in the subway stations up in New York and along the streets in the late 1970s. His art provided a visual aspect for the upcoming hip-hop culture back then. Now, Say Adams will have an art exhibit available to open at UNT's very own art building. His work will be on display until December 15th. It is available Tuesdays, Wednesdays, Fridays, and Saturdays from noon to 5, and Thursdays from noon to 8. This exhibit is open for all and at no cost. This is an incredible experience to enjoy art and see art by an incredible artist. I know I'll be stopping by for sure. I'm Anna Fergine with ntTV News. Ladies, over to you.
Thanks, Anna. If you're also a fan of art, one thing you may already know is that fine art can be expensive. Well, if you're strapped for cash but need to get your hands on expensive fine art, I've got just the ticket. A lottery ticket, that is. After there were no winners for the Powerball jackpot last week, it's now at a staggering $1.2 billion. The drawing this Wednesday night will join the ranks as one of the largest drawings in all of time. Again, your chances remain at the long odds of 1 in 292 million. I know what I would do with $1 billion. A trip to Greece.
That sounds like so much fun. With my $1 billion, I would buy 1 billion of those taco passes so I could have 1 billion tacos every single day. What would you do with $1 billion, Ben?
Thanks, guys. If I had $1 billion, I'd buy a box suite at the Rangers game. Coming up next, a UNT goalie has gone viral after scoring a penalty kick all the way from the midfield mark. Stay tuned. Last week, UNT volleyball dropped its win streak with a devastating 3-2 loss to Tulsa on Friday. Annie Smith set a team high with 14 points and 12 kills, and Truly Levy set her own record with a career high of 7 blocks. Despite the efforts of these players, UNT would still fall to Tulsa, losing both games on Thursday and Friday. This week, UNT will be facing off against UAB at 7 p.m. on Friday. So if the Eagles want to get back on track, they should focus more on blocks and less on kills. This past Saturday, Jermel Carlo stepped into the ring with Canelo Alvarez in an attempt to claim Carlo's super middleweight title. Unfortunately for Carlo, Alvarez would stalk him in the ring, landing 78 power shots and 38% of his 385 punch attempts, with Carlo falling behind early on, landing only 18% of his shots. Despite Canelo's command in the ring, Carlo did not give up and refused to give Canelo another knockout on his record. The two would battle for all 12 rounds before the judge's unanimous decision crowned Alvarez the champion of the match, allowing him to successfully defend his title. Last Thursday, UNT goalie Maddie Ogden went viral after she scored a game-changing goal in the last 14 seconds of the Eagles' game first half. UNT earned a free shot from the Roadrunners in the final seconds before halftime in last week's game when Coach John Hedlund made the unexpected decision to put Ogden, his goalie, up on the ball. Luckily, Ogden was more than prepared and successfully scored the goal in the last 14 seconds of the half. When asked how she was able to make such a shot, Ogden said, ever since she was in high school, she would always go to the park with her dad and practice her free shots. Since then, Ogden's goal has gone viral on Twitter, amassing almost 100,000 views on social media platform X. That's all for sports. Back to you at the desk.
Thanks, Ben. Avery, how big of a Swiftie would you say that you are?
Brooke, I have to say I'm probably one of the biggest Swifties in this studio.
Well, would you still love her as much if she was nothing but bones?
What is wrong with you? Why would you say that? What are you doing to Swiftie?
Well, that's because a Swiftie out of Indiana decided to take that idea and turn it into a spooky reality. Take a look.
The hottest couple in entertainment. Yes, we're talking Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift. Trailer, perhaps the perfect pair, now hauntingly Halloweenified. Michael Owens of Indiana created the larger-than-life skeleton dubbed Scalar Swift to pay homage to the upcoming release of the re-recorded 1989 album. Originally, the pop icon was going to be a solo act until legendary Kansas City Chiefs tight end Travis Kelce caught her eye. And Owens, she knew the blank space had to be filled.
When she attended the Chiefs game, I just thought it would be fun to make one of them Travis Kelce.
For Take a Look at This, I'm Patrick Cornell.
Well, she certainly looks better than I do when I wake up in the morning.
Well, if I wasn't a Swiftie before, I definitely am now.
As you should be. Thank you for joining us and watching ntTV Nightly News.
Join us again tomorrow at noon and tomorrow evening at 6 here on North Texas Television.